Hey everybody, welcome to AskLauraBrown.com. I'm Laura Brown, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some information or research that I found in this book. It's called Living Healthy and Happily Ever After, and it's co-authored by Rebecca Hintz and Dr. Susan Lawton. And basically, the purpose of this post or this video post is on how important it is that we take absolutely every thought captive. I love when science finally proves what the Bible has been telling us all along. So, question for you. Are our thoughts tangible? Can you reach out and touch your thoughts? If you're like me, then most of you are saying no. If somebody had asked me that, I would have said no. And while I would be able to describe what I'm thinking, I would not be able to tell anybody what makes up my thoughts or whether my thoughts are vanishing or inanimate. That's how what I would think. I mean, don't most of us think of our thoughts as just coming and going? They're inanimate. There's really nothing to them, right? I mean, it's not like we can reach out and touch that thought, right? Maybe, maybe not. Let's do a little bit of some science review here. And some of you have heard me talk about this before, but just bear with me. We're going to do it again real quick, okay? All things are made up of matter, okay? Whether it's the shirt you're wearing, the book you're reading, the chair you're sitting on, when you're cooking tonight and you're boiling water on the stove, even the steam that's coming out of the water, that's matter, okay? You can reach out and touch that, and you're going to see the physical evidence of the water on your hands, okay? All matter is made up of atoms and molecules. All right, so what does that have to do with a thought? Well, when we have a thought, our hypothalamus turns that thought into something called a neuropeptide. Those neuropeptides are associated then with the strongest emotion that went into that thought. Now, what is a neuropeptide? A neuropeptide is simply a molecule that helps our neurons communicate. I hope you just caught that. Again, let's review. All matter, all things tangible are made up of atoms and molecules. Now, our hypothalamus turns our thoughts into neuropeptides, which are molecules. Are you picking up what I'm laying down here? Our thoughts just became tangible. Dr. Candace Pert is a world-renowned neuroscientist who has done a ton of research and investigating between the interaction and the correlation between our thoughts and our cells. She encourages us to think about the interaction between the neuropeptides in our body and the neurons like a key fitting into a lock. Now, what is a neuron? A neuron is an impulse conducting cell, and these impulse conducting cells or neurons make up the functional unit of our central nervous system. So neurons have special receptor sites on them, okay? Again, a neuron is a cell that has a special receptor site on it. Our neuropeptides are like the key that fit into the lock, which would be that cell with the would be like that neuron, which is a cell with a special receptor site on it. Okay, so then when the neuropeptide fits into that neuron, amino acids in that neuropeptide get directly absorbed into the cell. And that's how our thoughts become a part of our cells. But it gets even better. Our cells develop special receptor sites for the neuropeptides that they are most exposed to. Again, our neuropeptides are created by our hypothalamus. Whenever we have a thought, our hypothalamus turns that into a neuropeptide or a molecule. So my question to you is, what are you thinking about most of the time? Your cells are going to be looking for those thoughts or those neuropeptides. And in fact, over time, our cells will ask our hypothalamus to create those neuropeptides that cell has created a special receptor site for. And those cells only create those special receptor sites for the neuropeptides that they're most exposed to. Okay? So again, what are you thinking about most of the time? You've all heard that expression that you become what you eat. I would say more likely we become what we think about. In the next video post that I'll be sending out in a few days, I'm going to be sharing some real life examples of how a person's thoughts negatively impacted their body such that what they were thinking about most of the time actually happened in their physical body. So I'm going to be sharing about that in a video post to come in the future, so make sure you're watching for it. But having said all this and shared all this information, I referenced in the beginning that I love when science finally proves what the Bible has been telling us all along. And so there is a reason in the Bible, specifically in Philippians 4:8, that God instructs us to think on things that are true and noble and right and pure, lovely, admirable, excellent, and praiseworthy. So I hope that you found this information enlightening. I'm imagining that maybe some of you just had an aha kind of a moment, whatever it was, however this impacted you. I hope that all of us start paying a little more close attention to the thoughts that we're thinking about most of the time and bringing them in line with how God has asked us to think. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of this beautiful sunny day out.